Anyone else? This is your opportunity, folks.
Lori Allen, Belfast. The new disclaimers on Belfast City Hall correspondence states they are not liable for any truth. Ditto with real estate listings. Waldo County deeded and recorded original surveys and final plans have been removed with Mylar falsified documents. Seaview Terrace is only one of boatloads of prime proof. I requested the original deeded plans for the 1966 development of Seaview Terrace in 2011. Those plans were removed from the registry and hidden in a box in the tax assessor's Bob Whiteley's office. I know this because on a hunch, I raided Bob's office first thing in the morning after Bob spent hours touring the miles of Belfast City Hall destruction to Seaview Terrace. He was alarmed, and I figured if those original plans would ever see the light of day again, it would be that morning. I was right. I was hoping to get pages for everybody. If you want to honestly say that you've received the documents I've sent you a bazillion times, I'd be happy to give them to Amanda to run them off for you. Otherwise, I'll just hold them up. And they are on my blog as well and have been for a year, boycottbelfast.blogspot.com. So, see pages 1 and 3 for the 1965 and 1966 original deeded registered plans. See page 4 and 5 for the 1990 Good Deeds Survey dated July 29, 1994 for my property, 17 Seaview Terrace. Get screwed up here. And abutter 23 Seaview Terrace owned by Karen Caswell. Good Deeds could not subdivide the two lots because it did not meet the 20-foot side setback necessary for the garage. There is not 40 feet between my house and her garage. This survey falsely references the subdivide was done and recorded in the Waldo County Deeded Registry in volume 1408, page 165. It was never recorded or subdivided. Bob had the original 1965 and 66 deeded plans right in front of me on the counter. The plans prove that a natural outlet that tears through my yard, another sell undisclosed Belfast City Hall and realtor hell to another. Bob made me copies of those plans and would later tell me that city manager Joe Slocum flipped out on him for giving me those plans. Bob said he had never saw that side of Joe. On May 27, 2011, city planner Wayne Marshall emailed me, and I quote, "The 1966 plan and a subsequent 1978 amendment," remember that, he's saying here there's a 1978 amendment, "are the only two documents of record on file in the registry. This was also removed from the registry, and repeated requests to replace the documents were denied by city manager Joe Slocum. He told me that the 1978 amendment was simply to allow the road to go over the massive Belfast City Hall culvert, illegally force flooding Seaview Terrace." On November 10th, 2016, Marshall emailed me, and I quote, "Dear Miss Allen, I went to the Waldo County Registry of Deeds to identify any subdivision plans and any amendments that were recorded for the Wendell McLeod subdivision for the Seaview Terrace area. There are only two recorded plans. 1. 1965 plan recorded at Book 6, page 23. 2. 1966 plan recorded at Book 6, page 59. Wayne's now not mentioning the 1978 amendment. I have attached both plans to this email. I note that the 1966 plan is consistent with information shown on the city tax map for your property. Yeah, wrong. As are the only recorded plans, I am unaware of any other amendments which were approved by the Belfast Planning Board and subsequently recorded. I hope this information helps. Wayne Marshall. The garage lot next to me, 23 Seaview Terrace, is owned by Karen Caswell. Her garage is on the side boundary line and is not in compliance with the 20-foot side setback for at least 20 years. Karen trespasses onto my property to enter the side door of her garage. She has been trying to sell another undisclosed hell to another since 2011. 2 of the original 4 capped and deeded iron stakes were federally illegally removed on the other side of my property, and Caswell federally illegally moved the other 2 capped stakes to give her 20-foot side setback. confirmed firsthand by the previous owners of my property, Minister and Laura Tarpley. Last summer, Karen Caswell called the police against me for trimming a tree on my property. Belfast Police Chief Mike McFadden was unsuccessful in getting the DA to press charges against me. Thank you very much. Within weeks, Karen had good deeds measure 20 feet from the garage eaves onto the middle of my property and drive in wooden markers as my new property line. And you all have gotten information on this tons of times. I don't think so. The side square footage of 127.8 feet and front square footage of 125 feet for my property has been removed from the city tax maps. Belfast City Tax Assessor Brent Martin refuses to put the footage on and refuses to tell me the 12 or so pending changes that he has for Seaview Terrace since last year. He told me to hire an attorney and surveyor. He'd be happy to recommend one. Surely owned by Belfast City Hall, Belfast resident John Worth III, Worth Real Estate Agency, and his wife, District Court Judge Patricia Worth. Put the original footage for all four sides of my property back on the Belfast City tax map. Press charges against Karen Caswell for the federal crime of tampering with deeded survey stakes at her expense, restake to the original plans with a deeded survey, deny approval of her zone-violating garage, and replace all the original deeded documents that have been removed from the Waldo County Deeded Registry. All of you have been given these very documents many times last year, and it's as well on my blog again and again and again, and given to Code Officer Todd Rosenberg. All of you have taken the fifth. I am open for debate right now. Hammering me during communications where I am not allowed to speak is cowardly and corrupt. Nevertheless, I persist. So, do you want copies, or do you want to say that the copies I have aren't valid, or you didn't get them, or Wayne's got other ones, and yada, yada, yada? What do you want to do? That's what you do best. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. The end.